an underground military facility, otherwise known as a black site. A high-value detainee that they're going to try and get information out of. He escapes and tries to enact his nefarious plans. I think I've seen this before. In fact, wasn't that a movie called Black Site too? My name is Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Out Loud, the official channel of nerdly.co.uk. Your favourite British home full of your news, reviews and exclusive interviews. We like to cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen interest on the lower end of the scale. It's where my heart lives, it's where it lies. And I'll keep doing it because I love to promote independent cinema. Back in 2018, there was a little-known movie called Black Site. I believe when I went to America, it was called Black Ops, made by the wonderful, fantastic Tom Paton. A new movie has just come out in 2022 called Black Site, not made by the wonderful Tom Paton. Yeah, it's pretty damn similar. Obviously, Tom's Black Site had like elder gods and whatnot, but these two movies, they kind of fall in the same path. But I really wanted to see this anyway because I quite like Jai Courtney. Jai Courtney has made a few good decisions along the way. I think him as Captain Boomerang in Suicide Squad is quite wonderful, to be honest. I loved him in Man Down. If you haven't seen Man Down, you should 100% check out Man Down. Dito Montiel, director of that. Shia LaBeouf's best performance in my eyes to date. Man Down is a wonderful film. Check it out. Jason Clarke is in this movie. Now, I do like to say that there is a certain collection of actors who I like to call the generic Joel Kinnemans. And obviously, Joel Kinnaman was one of them. Jai Courtney is another one of them. Jason Clarke is another one of them. Joel Edgerton is another one of them. So there's 4 of them, and 2 of them are in this movie. So that's cool. We're getting some Joel Kinnaman generic face stuff. Michelle Monaghan is in this movie, so yeah, I was going to check out Black Site because I was genuinely intrigued. I wanted to see what it was about, and it had a pretty decent cast. So let's talk about Black Site. Actually, wait, no, I've got to do that whole thing. I never even asked you to do it. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and ding that notification bell. That will let you know whenever I drop an episode. We are getting up to the 1,000 subscribers. I believe we're nearly at 900. It'd be nice to get there sooner rather than later. It just seems like a magical number for me. I'm trying to rebuild this channel, trying to do what I can to give you great content. More reviews, more interviews, everything is incoming. I'm constantly doing things like that. But please do all those wonderful things, like, subscribe, ding that notification bell. If you've seen this movie, if you've seen any of the movies that I talk about on the channel, please do drop something, drop a comment in the comment section. I'll always answer those comments because that's where the conversation continues. If you disagree with me, happy days. If you like what I'm saying, happy days. Let's just talk about it. It's the best thing about movies, is the debate. So let's talk about Black Site. And once again, if you've been here before, if you've watched any of my videos, you know how I'm going to do this. I'm going to talk about the plot of the movie, I'm going to talk about the cast and the crew of this movie, I am then going to move into what I did and didn't like about this movie, then I will give you my final rating, which is the Nerdly Out Loud rating, not the rating of Nerdly as a whole. I have to say that contractually, I'm going to get it put on a t-shirt. So Black Site is exactly what it sounds like. It is a group of officers based in sort of like an underground CIA black site base. And on the night of Michelle Monaghan's, I think it's going to be like a last night, she's getting shipped out soon, they bring in a high-profile detainee, Jason Clarke. This is the guy that got away. This is the guy that she was never able to catch. On the night that she gets told she's going to be leaving, he then turns up. You've got these other guys who are like badass Marine guys who are going to interrogate him. That all goes to shit. He then escapes very, 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 very cleverly. And I say cleverly like this. But he then escapes and then starts running riot around the complex. He's going to kill everyone there because that's what he's there to do. So Michelle Monaghan, who plays Abby Trent, then has to team up with Jai Courtney a little bit and get the job done. She's going to have to catch him, she's going to have to kill him because they need to take him out, and Jai Courtney's going to help her, even though they don't really like each other all that much. That is the basic plot of this movie. And I don't really want to say too much else because I will get into spoiler territory. So let's talk about the cast and the crew. Starting with our top three. Michelle Monaghan, this is very much her movie. She's very much carrying it. She is the lead badass female role. I kind of wanted her to be a little bit more badass and a little less techie, but that's fine because she's like a CIA operative and she's got all these badasses around her to do the badass stuff. But I do like her role. I think she's pretty good in the film. She doesn't have a massive great deal to work with in terms of like meaty dialogue. That's kind of given to Jason Clarke and Jai Courtney, although even that's not all that meaty. It's not a lot of meat on any of these bones, but I think she's doing a good job, and I liked her in the film. Jai Courtney kind of takes a step back for me here. I've been a big fan of him for a little while now. Like I say, I loved him in Suicide Squad, loved him in Man Down. Jai Courtney has been slowly winning me over. He takes a step back here because he's kind of just a generic jarhead, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm the badass, I'm going to protect the woman. Let me in there so I can interrogate that guy, but really I'm just going to kick shit out of him. I like Jai Courtney though, he can deliver lines, but in this movie he's kind of trying to be Rick Flag, and only Joel Kinnaman can be Rick Flag, surely. But I do like Jai Courtney, so I do jest a little bit, because he's pretty good in the film. Well, at least we can now say Jason Clarke's done a better movie than Terminator Genisys, or whatever that film was called. You know, Genisys? Yeah. Didn't like him in that movie. Quite liked him in this movie. He's just a bit of a badass. He's the typical villain, walking around all broody, not really saying a great deal, but just killing people left, right, and centre. Jason Clarke, you did a great job in this movie. Keep doing what you're doing. Yuli Latakefu, though, yes, great to see him again. If you're watching that TV show Young Rock, he plays a younger version of The Rock. Obviously, you've got the child version, then you've got the teenage version, then you've got like the little bit older version. He is playing The Rock. He plays Dwayne Johnson in that movie. He's also in The Legend of Baron Tour. I reviewed that on the channel, or I reviewed it on the website. I've reviewed it somewhere. A movie that I thought was freaking amazing. I really like this guy. I kind of feel like he could easily take Jason Clarke, but Jason Clarke does get the better of him. But I do like this guy as an actor, and it's great to see him on the screen. What I did and didn't like about this movie, what I do like is the action. There's a lot of action in there, some really good fight sequences, really good stunt sequences. Jason Clarke gets some great deaths. He gets to kill some people in some gnarly as hell ways, which I always like to see. It's a very stylized, quite fast-paced movie, so, you know, it ticks all those boxes. I'm not going to say the script is amazing, but it's okay. We've kind of seen it before, and as I said before, this does feel a little bit like Tom Paton's Black Site, like just a little bit, but I kind of got that from the trailer anyway. I was like, he thinks me seen this. Storyline wise, script wise, dialogue wise, it ain't amazing. It is what it is. It's one of these movies that you can kind of just shut off for a little bit and just sit and watch it. You don't have to be doing Christopher Nolan stuff every 10 minutes. You can get some really good action out of it, some pretty good sort of one-linery dialogue. I like that kind of thing, like the John McTiernan road of directing. I like all that. Not saying this is up there, but, you know, it's a decent little flick. I think my only thing was that I kind of feel like I've seen it before. I kind of feel like if you added Elder Gods and whatnot, I saw this movie in 2017 and 2018. And that's not a slight either. It really isn't. I guess I just kind of saw that and I was kind of, well, okay. But this is a different beast altogether. Basic structure kind of the same, but a totally different beast. So that's fine. But my biggest gripe, and I say gripe, it's really a nitpick, is just, it was all just a bit coincidental. I guess he wanted to be there, because he wanted to take everyone out and, you know, leave no witnesses and whatnot. But it all just seemed a bit like, really? Would they take him there? Would they do that? Would this happen? Really? On the day that she's going to leave? Really? Really? You know, like, I can suspend disbelief more than anybody in the world. But sometimes I sit there and I go, really? But that's fine. That's fine. Like, it's a nitpick. It's not even a gripe. It's a nitpick. So let's get into my final rating. And my final rating is my rating, the rating of Nerdly Out Loud, not the rating of nerdly.co.uk as a whole. We are all different people, we all have our own views, and we all do our own reviews. This movie for me is a 3. I can't give it any more than a 3. It's a great little film that's been made pretty well. It's fluid, it's got good action, but it's not doing anything I've not seen before. It's not really breaking any new ground. It kind of just is trundling along telling a story that I've seen a few times. And again, I do think you should watch it. We should all watch everything. You cannot be informed in movies if you don't watch everything. Saying that, I've not seen everything, which is a bit hypocritical, I guess, but I definitely think you should check this movie out. If you've got a spare hour and a half, it's a quick watch. Sit down, watch it, you'll enjoy it, you'll be entertained. Just don't expect the world, because you're not going to get that. So I'm going to sit smack dab on a 3 out of 5, but it's a solid. I'm not taking anything away from this movie. I think it's a genuinely well-made movie, just nothing original for me. So with that, I am going to go. Check out the movie. If you do check out the movie, hit me in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Tell me you think Jai Courtney's awesome, because I think dude is awesome. Let me know if you think this is a better version of Jason Clarke than we got to see in Terminator Genisys, and we will continue the conversation down there. That's where I like to keep this conversation going. So I'm going to go, but 3 out of 5 for me on this movie, and I think you should all check it out, all watch it. It's a good time. It's fun. Switch your brain off and watch it. I'm out.